It's the Weather Xtreme video. This is the morning edition for Thursday, August 25th. I'm James Spann. Alabama's weather looking kind of stagnant for a while, but of course the tropics are very active and very interesting. Let's go and talk about it. For us, it's the Ridge. Hey, this is still August, it's not supposed to cool down this time of the year. And obviously with a setup like that, no cool air reaching us anytime soon. Starting off the day in the 70s. In fact, Birmingham at 79. Barely getting under 80. And again, low to mid-90s in most spots today, and that's going to be the story really every day for a while. On the watch warning map, things pretty quiet this morning, but boy, what a day yesterday up north in Indiana and Ohio. 42 tornado reports. It doesn't necessarily mean 42 tornadoes, but that was a very significant tornado event up there. All right, convective outlook for today. Risks running really from West Texas up to the eastern Great Lakes. Some of the higher possibilities are around Cleveland and Wichita. Around here, we'll see a few widely scattered storms, but nothing severe. In fact, the southeastern tip of the state, if this is right, would be dry. Montgomery down toward Dothan. Tomorrow, a couple of marginal risks well to the north and west. And on day 3, kind of a soupy air mass over much of the country, but organized severe weather not expected. Rain for the next 5 days, valid through Tuesday morning of next week. Not very much here. In fact, this is suggesting parts of the state might go totally dry. But understand, every day we'll see these little pop-up showers and storms about, but certainly nothing widespread. The big numbers, South Florida with our tropical wave, Invest 99L. The bullseye's 7.2 inches there. Let's run it out 7 days, and you can see the general idea is that the big rain shield with this thing, whatever it becomes, if it stays a wave or gets a name or whatever, would stay east of the state. Georgia, the Carolinas, and Florida. Maybe the southeastern tip of Alabama. But of course, that is subject to change. Tropical weather got Gaston finally becoming a hurricane overnight in the central Atlantic, and 99L, which is the one we'll focus on. Quickly, a look at Gaston. This thing is expected to weaken back to a tropical storm because of shear, then re-intensify into a hurricane late this weekend. Recurving east of Bermuda. Should be no threat to land. Good old 99L is this thing. I would say this tropical wave maybe has gathered more attention than any other in history, thanks to social media and whatever. I don't know. Back in the old days, nobody would even notice these things. Again, we got a Hurricane Hunter aircraft on the way in now. There was no low-level center yesterday, and there's probably not one today. And part of the problem now, you've got some interaction with Hispaniola, which is a very mountainous island. So I don't know if it can get its act together today or not. But let's look at the tracks. 06E model set. Again, the idea is getting pretty consistent now that this thing comes up into Florida. It's mainly a rainmaker and begins to turn north, headed up toward eastern Georgia, and then ultimately a recurve. But understand this could change. You know what I say here, until this thing gets organized. Don't take this stuff as the gospel. It's not carved in stone. This is the GFS Ensemble, the OZ run, and again, almost all the members are in that mode, that they move it up toward Florida, then ultimately recurve east of Alabama. Not a single member brings it west of Mobile. And Alabama would stay on the dry side if this verifies. The intensity guidance, a lot of the models just kind of keep it where it is, or maybe a weak tropical storm. And there's always an outlier or two, but it's hard to find any model that really brings this up to a big hurricane. It could very well and probably will get the name Hermine at some point, but the idea is becoming more and more likely that this will be a rainmaker for the Florida Peninsula and parts of Georgia and South Carolina. But that could change. Let's take a look at the GFS. 06C run, 1 o'clock this afternoon at 500 millibars. That old 594 heat range is sitting on top of us, so you know what the weather's going to do. It's going to be hot, humid, in a few spots, maybe catching a shower this afternoon. Low to mid-90s. Her model, 6 o'clock. Just a few little specks out there. Today will be much like the last 2 or 3 days. Tomorrow, same old routine. Both the NAM and the GFS are at 92. Evidence the ridge might be a smidgen weaker, the air aloft a little colder, maybe a slight bump in the number of showers and storms, still probably widely scattered. Same thing Saturday, same thing Sunday. Highs for the weekend, low 90s, partly sunny, hot, muggy, a shower in spots during the peak of the daytime heating process. And again, notice there's no real, we got the wave coming in, but there's no sign of any of this thing getting organized. Monday, got a broad low that's near Key West. That would be our wave. Around here, the weather not changing. This is Tuesday. Really, our weather looks fairly dry next week. Any showers very isolated. This is Wednesday. A broad surface low is coming up around Appalachia Bay, coming up toward Tallahassee. That would be the wave. Potential Hermine, if by chance it got a name. And a week from today, this is Thursday, the first day of meteorological fall. I like that. September 1st. Ridge a little weaker. That little tropical low is coming up toward Valdosta, Georgia. And again, we look fairly dry. Our weather looks pretty benign here for the next 7 days. So that's the GFS. All right, model fans, let's look at the European. A little more robust. This is Monday. It's got what should be Tropical Storm Hermine around Fort Myers, Florida. And again, the main effect would be a lot of rain over South Florida if this verifies. Tuesday of next week, that thing is riding up the Gulf Coast of Florida, coming up toward Tampa Bay and, again, Appalachia Bay. And if it stays in the water, sure, this could become a hurricane. Like I say, there is great uncertainty here with this. All of this could change. But at least there's some consistency in this idea. And then Tuesday night, it comes in a little east of Apalachicola. And the question is, if there is a center, will it be over the eastern Gulf or will it be over land, over Florida? And that's going to determine the intensification of this thing, probably. And then Wednesday of next week, it's around Bainbridge, Georgia, east of Dothan. And then on Friday of next week, this is September 2nd, it's on the way out, recurving. So almost all solutions keep this thing east of Alabama. But again, it could change. So work with fresh information. This is the end of the forecast period. This is Saturday, September 3rd. Starting to see some amplification increase in the westerlies with a trough in the west, trough on the east coast, ridging in the middle. But again, for us, just not much. Our weather looks very benign for the next 15 days. The numbers, again, with no big break in the pattern, low 90s every day through September 9th, this verifies, and overnight lows mostly in the low 70s and upper 60s. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video this morning. We'll have notes in the blog. Next video here by 4 o'clock this afternoon. You can catch us this evening on the live stream or the television side. ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.